How do? Today I'm joined with Kasra Dash.
Thanks for having me.
How you doing?
Yeah, not bad.
Today's topic is Indexceptional, new indexing tool that I've invested into. So first and foremost, the reason why I've invested in this new brand and this new tool is because I was having massive problems. I think Google are having big problems at present with indexation. I think the amount of mass AI content that's hitting the internet, they're having problems now indexing quite a lot of things. Especially, there's also not just AI content, but citations, press releases, and stuff like that. So first and foremost, non-biased, because obviously I'm very biased to say it's the best, which I genuinely believe it is the best. What kind of feedback have you had on the Indexceptional? Obviously, you use Giga Indexer, Index Me Now, Amiga Indexer.
Yeah. So when you first told me you're investing in this, I was like, why? Because there's already loads of indexing tools. And then obviously you told me a little bit more about the process and how it works and the pros and cons of each of your competitors as well. Because every competitor has a pro and a con. And I was like, right, okay. And then I started actually using it without obviously being biased. It is actually really good. It has got a way better index rate than all of the competitors that I have used. And then that being said, we also tried running it on some link inserts and also one of Searcheroo's client sites as well. We basically loaded up, or we exported all of the backlinks and we loaded it up into the indexing tool, and the results were amazing. Now, from our testing data, the reason for that is because a lot of people, including us as well, we were building link inserts and we weren't running it through a link indexing tool. And basically, when you start to do that, is obviously the link's been inserted, Google comes and recrawls that page, and then it's basically passing some power through to your website. The indexing part is probably the most important part. You can go and get 100 link inserts tomorrow, and yes, you might see a little bit of a benefit from doing that, but until Google recrawls that page and then allocates you the page rank going through to your money site, it's not going to essentially benefit your site, or it's not going to benefit as much. So now part of our SOP is every single link insert that we do for every single client runs through Indexception. And I can already say that the results that we've been seeing from that's been insane.
I think it's important as well for people who are watching to say, like, why have you invested in an indexing tool? It's such a low level type of service, and it's like 50p a URL to index. Like, what's the point? The truth of the matter is, I invest in brands and companies that I want to use for my own products. And I went out to market and I've used indexing tools for a long time. I know Elias at Amiga Indexer, and I think he's got a great indexing tool, but it's not perfect, and I wanted it to be better. And sometimes when you're trying to make other tools better, some of them kind of say, well, what's the point? Like, I've already got enough clients, I'm fine with where it's at. Index Me Now was probably the best on the marketplace. And then Giga Indexer came along, and Giga Indexer and Index Me Now used the very, very similar kind of models to do the indexing. But neither one of them kind of go and hit Bing bot. They only do Google bot. Now you might go, oh, well, Bing bot, it's only 9% of traffic value, but there's still quite a lot of traffic from Bing. So I want Bing bots to return. Mm-hmm. But then there's also little things like tweets also help quite a lot. But then also you can hit certain different URLs and do certain 301s via indexing, and use the Google API and use lots of other ways to get these URLs indexed. So when I started to realize how many things was missing from the best tools, which was Giga Indexer was coming up number one, just ahead of Index Me Now being number two, I'd probably say Amiga Indexer at number three. I tried to start speaking to Giga Indexer to try to start saying, look, is there something you can do? And they're like, I just don't think it's worth it. And for me, it is worth it. So I'm like, well, if I invest in a tool, now what I can do is I can make certain the quality control is better. Yeah. And then when we started to realize about the link inserts, and it's just naivety on my behalf that if I think a web page that's indexed and I go and do a link insert into that page and I think, well, it's already indexed, it's fine. No, Googlebot has not crawled that page since you've added that link in. So when we started to realize that every single link insert or niche edit that you buy should be loaded into an indexing tool, or at worst, just shared on Twitter. But Twitter maybe only have a 15, 16% kind of recrawl rate for Googlebot. But if you load it into Indexceptional or GigaIndexer or IndexMino, they're probably the best free. But Indexceptional, and yes, I'm 100% biased because I've bought into this tool, but I bought into it because I go and do everything that the other indexing tools do, plus another probably 5 or 6 additional strategies to help the indexation. Anyone who's watching this, I really want you to go out and test Indexceptional versus all the others. And I want you to try to prove me wrong. Because if you prove me wrong and one is better, I'll find out what they're doing and I'll implement it into ours. But I'm telling you now, across all the testing that we did, every single time Indexceptional won. It got Googlebot fast back to the site. And the other main reasons, probably the main reason why people use indexing tools is for backlinks. Yeah. So link inserts, citations, press releases, guest posts, and all the other. Just try to get Googlebot coming to them links as soon as possible.
One test that we actually ran, I don't know if I've actually told you about this, is we had a sports betting brand and they basically do a lot on football. And one of their backlinks was from a pretty known website, but it was about Kante joining Chelsea, which might have been in like 2018 transfer news. So it was quite an old link, but that backlink they had, it was a sports betting website talking about football, linking to our football betting website, right? So the link and the relevancy of
really
that,
relevant,
really
powerful.
relevant. Yeah. But it wasn't indexed because it was so old. Obviously, Kante joined Chelsea. I don't know, 2016, right? Yeah. We tried 3 indexing tools on that. None of them got to index. Indexceptional got to index first try.
Not only that as well, just so you understand it, and this looks like a pitch for Indexceptional all the way through. But if you do not index the URL that you place in Indexceptional, 100% money back. So you pay nothing unless it indexes. So that's another big reason. There's only GigaIndexer and IndexMino that do it. So there's only really the top 3 that are doing it, where we're competitive on price. We're absolutely 100% guarantee. Otherwise, we give money back. I'm very surprised at how little people actually do it. So one thing I would say to touch upon, if you've got a very large site and you just try and load in 1,000 URLs, yes, it will certainly help the indexation of them 1,000 URLs. There is still a crawl budget. So even though it might index 950 of them, if your crawl budget, if you don't have enough backlink profile, stuff might start to fall out of the index. So you've just got to be careful on that. But generally speaking, we can guarantee Googlebot comes to hit the URL. And as long as it's a half decent URL and some content on there, it indexes, or 100% money back. So I think that's rounding it up for Indexceptional. Again, please leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what indexing tools you're using. If you want me to try any other tools that I might not have, at present, I think there was 36 different indexing tools that we ran it against. I'm all about innovation. I always want to improve. Let's see how if you can come up with a strategy that how I can further enhance Indexceptional indexing tool.